So hi everyone, it's Karli Reese and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be telling you all the things I hate about junior high. So I could go on and make a 20-minute video about this, but I really only have 10 important things I really need to vent to you guys about. So let's get started. So yesterday I graduated from 8th grade. What an achievement. I made it so far. I still have like 7 years. I don't know. I have a ton of more years to go. I have high school and then college, so that'll be exciting. So I just wanted to tell you some of the things I hated about junior high. There is also things I like, which I might be able to save for another video, but that video would definitely be shorter than this video. So yeah. So I'm going to be a freshman next year, but I have 4 days left of 8th grade, so I'm a little excited that this is almost over because I've heard the high school is heaven compared to the junior high, so very excited. So let's just get started right now. So I have 10 things that I'm going to be sharing with you guys, and number 1 is the one-way hallways. It drives me crazy. So I have a marker right here, I don't know why, but I'm going to describe to you like the shape of my school. So there's kind of like a big square like this. Boom. And then there's a long hallway going this way, and then there's a long hallway going that way, and then there's that square again, and then the cafeteria and the gym's like down here, and then on the other side of that square there's like a tiny hallway that kind of has like the wood shop, the art, the Spanish, like all those kind of extra classes. So yes, anyway, the whole square thing is the busiest hallways in the school. So the only direction you can go is like this way. You can only travel this way. What way is that? You can only travel clockwise, and if you do travel clockwise, you will get in trouble and be told to turn around. So if your class is right here, this is where your class is, and you need to go to your locker that's right here, they will not let you just go down. They make you walk all the way around, and if they catch you, they're like, turn around right now. Even if you're a centimeter away from stepping into your class, they're like, turn around. Which I don't even get the point. Like, people are gonna do it anyway, and people get away with it all the time, so I don't even know why it matters. I do it every morning and no one ever catches me, but after lunch I could literally just be smack dab right at my locker in like 10 seconds, but no, I have to walk this whole loop, and then it takes me like 5 minutes probably to get to my locker, and then I get yelled at that I'm late for lunch. It's not my fault. They just don't get it. Number 2 is dress code. So I would probably get dress coded for the strap sticking out, honestly, because it's just that grand. So the shorts that I'm wearing right now are kind of like this. This is probably the longest you could probably get away with. See, like that. And a lot of people wear shorts that like show like this, and they never get dress coded. But if you're like, what is that? But if you're unlucky like me, I could literally wear shorts like this long probably, and I would still get dress coded. Well, there's people literally wearing shorts like that. No joke. Like, I hate how they just pick favorites and they just like here's the principal when like people with super short shorts on walk into the lunchroom. They're like, and then there's me with like pants on. They're like, I'm like, are you kidding me? And then they're like, go change. I'm like, I'm literally wearing pants. Like, I don't get it. We can't even have mesh showing when half the time you can't even see through mesh. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. There's so many things we can't wear. We can't wear spaghetti straps. Half the time we can't wear v-necks, which I'll get to that later. And then we can't wear short shorts. We can't wear sleeves that hang down too low. We can't wear off the shoulder shirts and just over the top. So it may not seem that much, but just think how complicated that is when these things are a part of your everyday life. Like, summertime, you're gonna wanna wear tank tops and shorts. When summertime is amazing, but like it's awful at the same time because you can't even go to school feeling comfortable because you're like, okay, I gotta walk through the hallways like this and keep my arms scrunched up so they can't see that my hands hang past my shorts or anything like that. Like, it's just creating way more pressure and stress for us at school. So I definitely think that's a downside, and I'd rather be focusing on my schoolwork than focusing on what I have to wear, you know? Why can't we just wear what we want? I don't get it. Plus, how is it distracting boys? It makes no sense. Like, I don't get it. Plus, a majority of the day, probably like 99% of the day, we're sitting down. What are they looking at while we're sitting down? It makes no sense. So next, we're going to talk about the lockers, which is awful. So I've gotten used to them, so I probably don't think they're bad anymore. But when we start in elementary school, everything's amazing. We got these giant lockers, probably like this big, going like probably all the way up to here and then all the way to the ground. It's like so nice, but you have to share it with a locker buddy, but there's so much room, it doesn't even matter. You're like, yay, we're friends now, let's decorate this together. And then you're like, oh yeah, and now junior high I get my own locker. This is gonna be sick. The junior high lockers at our school are, listen, no actual joke. There's days when I'm late to school because, I don't know, I just hate waking up. And I literally take like 10 minutes at my locker because I have all this stuff in my book bag and I just gotta sit and rip everything out to the size where it can actually fit in my locker, which takes forever. So it's just not very helpful. I'd rather share like this giant locker with some random person than share this tiny locker with myself. And then there's also the top compartments, but they don't really lock like ever. So you would be lucky if you got one of those that lock. Next, we're going to talk about the teachers, and in no way am I trashing any certain teachers because this is just like a lot of our teachers in general at our school. But a lot of the teachers aren't the best because they expect you to know like everything that they're telling you, like, you know. So in class we'll learn, I don't even know. In class we'll learn, oh, this is this theory and A plus 2 plus B is C or something like that. Made no sense. But they just expect you to go home and be like, okay, I got this down perfectly. Now I can do this homework without having any struggles and all the answers are gonna be 100%. So that's how a lot of the teachers are at our school, and they don't realize that these days there's way more going on in our lives than just homework. So personally, I find it back in the day way easier to do homework than it is today because we have social media, all the stuff that we're looking forward to getting home to. We have food, oh God, food. And we have sports, and sports take up so much time and they don't even understand because nobody likes getting home and leaving for dance at like 4 and then getting home at 10:30. Like, where are you fitting homework in? Because I don't want to get home exactly at 3 and just sit down right away and go back to doing homework, because what's the fun of that? Because I was just at school for 7 hours and I don't want to spend another second looking at another worksheet for at least another 3 hours. Like, I don't want school to be 10 hours of my day. I just want school to be the 7 hours that I have, and that's it. So I just wish it was like that. And then there's a lot of teachers are like, you guys aren't turning in your work, like you're failing my class, you're getting zeros on my tests. I don't think it is our fault, because if one person were just failing the class, that would be, oh, that's that person's fault. When everyone is failing like the same class and everyone's like, oh, help me with this homework, I don't know how to do it, and the person's like, oh, I don't know how to do it either. Oh. They're like, I don't know how to do it either. It's kind of like Ivy. It's kind of like, okay, well, obviously it's not our fault, it's probably the teacher's fault if we're all failing the same things and all the same tests in the same class. So that's what I have to say. Next, one thing I'm looking forward to in high school is getting away from the drama, because I've heard drama is way less in high school than it is in junior high. And the reason I think that is because in high school there's such a lower chance of getting in class with more of your friends. So if that even makes sense. Like, in yearbook, I have all girls in my class and one dude, and I know every single one of the girls. Like, I know all of them. So that's just like, oh, well, I'm friends with her, but they hate each other. So like, I basically have to pick and choose, and then one of them's gonna end up hating me. So it's just hard like that. But I feel like more in high school, it's like, okay, yeah, we're too mature for this. Like, oh well, I'm gonna pick someone and you're gonna deal with it. Or it's just like, oh, there's a lower chance of getting these people in my class, so I have one person I know and that's the one person I'm gonna talk to. So it just works out like that. Now we're gonna talk about phones. I don't get this at all. Why can't we have our phones out, and why are they doing this to us? Because think about it, you're disciplining us, don't go on your phone, we're gonna take it away from you. But literally, that's just gonna make us like hate them and hate school. So why would they do that? And that's just gonna make us trash on the junior high. Is that what they want? I don't think so. Because we're literally just gonna go to high school the next year and sit on our phones the whole time. So I don't find it that big of a deal, because what are we gonna do? Like, I understand going on your phone while the teacher's talking is a big deal, or like going on your phone during a test or during like an important worksheet or something like that. But what about those like 4 minutes that we're just sitting there like staring at the wall, like waiting for the teacher? She's like, hold on, let me look this up, doing absolutely nothing. Why can't we just be like, oh hey, my mom texted me, let me look at that? Because if there's an emergency going on at home, you're not just gonna be able to, oh, I can hear it all the way from my locker and then run down the hallway and go grab your phone. No, it just doesn't happen like that. So I just think it's very awkward how we can't have our phones some certain times, especially when like sometimes we'll just be walking in the hallway for a yearbook and we just get our phones taken away from the principal and stuff like that. Like, if our teacher gives us permission to be on our phone, we should be able to be on our phone. Like, if we're walking in the hallway, who cares? Next, we're gonna talk about penalty hall. So penalty hall is basically like detention at our school, and it is way overused for sure. There's a lot of people who get like, oh, strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, and they get up to like 10 streaks and they never get penalty halls. But then there's other people like, watch. Let's use this dolphin as an example. So this is another classmate, and I go, hee, and I throw my pencil in the air and it smacks him, and he starts crying. We're like, oh, penalty hall. And then here's this perfect student who's like, hee, and then they start crying. They don't get a penalty hall. They're just like, hey, don't do that or else I'm gonna get you in trouble. Like, how is that fair? You can't pick favorites, who you want to give a penalty hall and who you don't want to get a penalty hall. Like, but there's been times when I've heard like grand things happen and they just get like slid off. Like, you know, sometimes people like hit each other and get in fights, and then they're just like, you can't do that. And then there's other people who like drop a toothpick on the floor and say like, oh no, I dropped my pencil, and say like a curse word, and then they're like, get out, penalty hall right now. Like, what's the big deal? I just don't get it. Next, we're gonna talk about gym. And I love gym so much. I love my gym teacher. I love everything about it. I love the people in my gym. But the one thing I don't like is like the dressing code thing in gym. We have to wear red, gray, white, or black, which I think is why. We're literally staying in a giant room. Like, why do we need to wear our school spirit wear? Makes no sense. And people say it's because like when we're outside, they need to like keep track of us and see us. Where are we gonna go? Are we gonna run out in the woods and they're never gonna see us again? Well, I mean, it's gonna be obvious. Like, how does that matter? So like, if I'm sitting here right now and we're sitting in line for gym and we're about to go run the mile or something, if I'm wearing a black shirt and I run in the woods, oh, they're gonna be like, that she's ours. Or if I'm wearing a purple shirt and I run in the woods, they're gonna be like, oh, that's probably some random little girl just running around. No, they're still gonna know that it's me and I'm in that gym class. Like, what's the difference? So I don't understand. And we can't wear V-necks. Like, what is it? Who cares if it's a circle or a V? What? I don't get it. Next, we're gonna talk about the drop-off in the morning. So the drop-off, you guys know what that is, where your parents drive you to school and then they drop you off so you can get out of your car and go to school. Yeah, I'd rather ride the bus, honestly, and nobody likes the bus. So the reason I would rather ride the bus is because you should just be like, ooh, I'm pulling up, I'm still driving, I'm pulling in and I'm still driving. Oh, I have to stop for a second. Oh, I'm still driving. And then you get out of the car. No, here's how it is. You're slowly moving, and then you stop for 10 minutes, then you slowly move. Because literally kids are like this. When they get out of their car, they're like, and then they're moving. I'm like, and then I just run in there. Like, it shouldn't take you 5 minutes to get out of your car. You can say bye to your parents when you're driving in. You don't have to say the second, oh, bye mom, bye, I'm gonna miss you, I forgot to tell you this. And then you sit and tell them while you're trying to get out of your car, and it's just making everyone else's day is harder. And then you're late to first hour because these slow people, and then you just have to go up and tell your teacher, oh, I woke up late, when you really didn't, and you had to sit in the line. And then they're gonna be like, well, that's your fault, you need to find a better way to get to school. So then what's the whole point? I just don't get it. And then the last thing we're gonna talk about is the food. So I personally don't eat lunch food just because after all the rumors I've heard through my entire like school years, and I just realized I've been looking this way the entire time and I don't even know what I'm looking at, so just ignore me. Focus. Okay. So I've heard the food at our school is just not good, so I'm not very interested in doing it. But what I'm excited for in high school is people say the food is actually good, which like I'm excited because I hate like having to pack my lunch, you know. I don't pack my lunch, my mom does, but still, I just want like a different meal every day. I eat the same thing for lunch every day because my mom packs me the same thing. I want a variety of good food. I want to go to school and be able, oh, I want this compared to this. I want more choices. But in the junior high, it's like, oh, every week it's the exact same thing on the menu. So like Thursdays it's chicken, Mondays it's chicken, Tuesdays it's corn dogs, and it's the same throughout every week. So I just don't get it. And also, things are way overpriced. I don't know how much a case of water costs, but I would assume it's like $1. It costs $1.25 to buy one single water at school. It just makes no sense to me. And then a tiny fruit roll-up is like 50 cents, and a Rice Krispie treat's $1. $1.25 is a Rice Krispie, actually. What? I could buy 30 Rice Krispies. I could buy 30 Rice Krispies for $1.25, but no, they're trying to rip you off. And then they're like, oh, we need to stop childhood obesity. But they literally sell like 30 different ice creams and like 10 different cookies and all these treats at the thing. Like, no, that's what you guys are doing wrong. You're like, oh, we need gym at the school so like people can get physically active and lose weight. Then why are you selling all this crap food at lunch that's making like kids even fatter? I just don't understand. So that is it for today's video. I hope you liked listening to me venting and screaming about how much I hate my school. But there's actually some good things about my school that maybe I can share in another video, like I said. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you leave a like in the comments, a thumbs up, a subscribe, everything you can do. I don't know what that is though, so figure it out. Just do a ton of stuff. So bye. Thank you guys for watching. By the way, I wrote all this stuff down on this mirror so I could remember what to say.
About to leave, already packing, come with me, I'm not really asking, we'll get away to a place where we don't know.